Wow. Looks like I fucked up the configuration. Wow. Looks like I fucked up the configuration. Now, why do I hear myself from the speakers? Oh, okay, should be no loopback anymore. And I hope that you can hear me. Yeah, I can see on the chat that you can hear me. That's nice. It was some problem solving involved because I use GNU Linux on my streaming computer, and I did some configuration change. Yeah, now I muted the audio loopback on my laptop so that the voice from the speakers doesn't go back into the mic. Yeah, it's always problems. It's always the first time you do the stream. There's always some risk of things getting fucked up. Use the frontal lobe of the brain. I think I do. No, I didn't do it 2 seconds before a live stream. I did it a few hours, but yeah, I should have tested it better. That's also a thing, because the mic that I'm talking to now, it's I also modified it a teeny tiny bit because I wanted to boost the gain, and I just soldered one resistor to it. One moment, please, let me show you. Yeah, at the bench. And this is how the input stage looks like for the for the cheap ass Moses microphone that I made a short of today. I did reverse engineer the thing. It's a balanced amplifying stage that originally it had 20 kilos to 820 ohms, and that would be 25 times. Given that this is a non-inverting op-amp configuration, you need to add +1. It would be 25 times the output voltage relative to the input voltage. That would be plus 28 decibels. I wanted to boost it just a teeny tiny bit, like 6 decibels, like twice the voltage. And that would mean that I would have to use half of this resistance. I just added a 1 kilo in parallel, and I think that the sensitivity on that mic is way better. Reading the chat. So you can see your opening line. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. So, officially, hello there, kitties. I'm Gary, the vacuum tube witch. And let's have the first stream. It's the first live stream ever in my life. Was I stressed? Believe me, was I stressed? Yeah, this is Hello Kitties. Just sometimes you gotta come up with an opening line and goodbye line, and I think that my goodbye line would be like, carry on. Yeah, it is always stressful to be myself live. I guess that everyone who does the streams, especially the experienced streamers like Dave Jones or like Big Clive, I think when they were beginning, they also were kinda stressed. I think it happens to everyone. Hello, kitty. Oh, cat. This is Koko. He's a sweetheart. Oh, I'm having a first bot. Wow. Whack-a-mole. Whack-a-mole. I wouldn't even suspect that yeah, they would appear so soon. I need a mod. Yeah, I think that I will make Fran my mod, and Chipmunk, if you want to be my mod, well, sure, why not? Yeah, the cat is named Koko. He's a real sweetheart. He's fat. He's like 8 kilos, and he would be 10 years now. Pretty old. Not very old, but yeah, he ain't that young anymore. Yeah, it's Kilo Oscar, Kilo Oscar. Kilo Oscar, Kilo Oscar. Yeah, Chipmunk. Exactly. Yeah, I learned the NATO phonetic alphabet. Even though I don't have a ham radio license, I'd like to apply for one and become a ham radio operator someday. Just in case anyone asks me. So yeah, that would be sitting here at my desk. And by the way, today I noticed that I had over 200 subscribers on my channel, and thanks to you all. And when I noticed that I had 204, I just wanted to see how it would look like in binary, and 11001100, and then another one. I got another subscriber, so it would be 11001101. Yeah, NATO phonetic alphabet might be a basic skill in the English-speaking countries, but here in Poland, it's not all that popular unless you're in military or some emergency services or amateur radio. Yeah, I am a night owl. I can stay up late, like until 5 a.m. my time. That's also why I tend to sit long nights on various streams like Fran, and when Dave did his stream, then I frequented that stream as well. And one moment, please. Let me show you something, because I've got this Canon 40D DSLR. It was my workhorse in 2012 and 2013, and I managed to tinker with some settings, look for a way to use it as a webcam, and yeah, I got myself another camera with different lenses to use. I have a bunch of old prime lenses, and yeah, given language mention, it's interesting that alpha is spelled alpha. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And back to the camera. I could use it for shooting the detailed videos. Let's switch it. Inception moment. It's the Inception moment. Unfortunately, I have to use manual focus with this one. But I can show you some of my lab. Kinda first live stream, and there over there you can see shelves with some devices, and an equalizer, an antique camera, one of those V640 analog multimeters, test chambers for explosive testing of electronic components, some transprite things, and the thing that you see right over there, this is the Speckle 11 spectrophotometer that I got from one chemical lab, and I think that at some point I'm gonna work on it, and just how cool would it be to get it up and running, and maybe do some chemical analysis stuff. Maybe even automate it for data acquisition, for observing the chemical reactions over time. This is the part storage in my lab and the library, and a lot of mess on the table. This round object, it would be a project radioactivity that I might fire it up and show you. Moving on, some more stuff. The main speaker systems, the Unitra Tonsil ZG40C. One one of the best speaker systems that was made in 1970s and 80s in Poland. That's this my turntable, nothing really serious, an Omnitronic DJ turntable that's a knockoff of Technic's SL1200. This is the stream engine, my PC that does the recording and the streaming and the gaming and all kinds of workhorse stuff. Bunch of headphones and the secondary audio mixer, just the cheapest DJ stuff, some discombobulation and the ADHD project right here. The Keritech Electronics ADHD01 Advanced Dial Home Device. Stargate reference, another Stargate reference. And yeah, the speaker systems above my desk. I've got 3 pairs of speaker systems in my lab. And a crowbar in case of unforeseen consequences. Black Mesa Research Facility. Questionable ethics, unforeseen consequences. A Philips N4420 tape machine I need to repair, and yeah, probably a broken belt or something like that. I'd like to have a reel-to-reel machine up and running again. 2 antique Nixie-tube multimeters. Some part storage with those antique Soviet meters in decibels that I'm gonna use in a few of my preamps or amps. Believe me, those meters are things of beauty and joy forever. Some more vintage test equipment and parts. Moving on to the bench. This is the nonlinear distortion meter. Also needs some work. Above it I've got a Zopan PO25A sine wave generator. It can go from 20 Hz to 1 MHz. This is the Leader LBO 5880 oscilloscope that it has its quirks. I don't really like it that much. Next to it is the WL2C vacuum tube voltmeter that controls the signal lever from the generator. That's a VU meter I use for testing the balanced outputs. This is a power supply that I use for working with vacuum tube circuits. A bunch of handheld radios, hardware storage, all those jars attached to the boards. I knew this method for many years back in my first lab when I was a teen. I also used this. Some cables, the on-air lamp, overhead speaker that it has a amplifier under it that I can use as a signal tracer. Very useful for working with all kinds of audio stuff. Resistors, capacitors, all that small crap. And then the bench itself, the soldering station. Got a ThinkPad handy at my bench. Now I'm moving away from the mic. I will show you my record collection and some projects of mine, plus 2 more scopes over there. That would be an amplifier that I built for my customer. And this is my teeny tiny vinyl record collection. Me and my queer friend have only started collecting those records in something like 2020. We got a lot of David Bowie, we've got some Bauhaus, we've got some OMD, some Kate Bush, some Soft Cell, some Susie and the Banshees, some Pink Floyd. Most of the good stuff from 70s and 80s, and we can never get enough. This is the additional bench with some discombobulation and some projects going on. This is the toolboard. All of those tools, they have an outline so that I can always put a tool back where it belongs. I was inspired to make this by the toolboards that I had in my previous lab at the Book Art Museum. I just thought it was very handy, it was very useful and elegant. Yeah, some more mess. Yeah, let's get back. And reading the chat. Yeah, vintage hardware porn. By the way, I'm from Poland, Maurice. I'm from Poland. Right next to your eastern border. What are these cans? Wonder what cans you meant. Yeah, I don't exactly know. Okay, so maybe let's move to the main part of the stream that it involves vintage electronics. Echtes deutsches Tischrechner. Yeah, Eastern German. The Soemtron 220 tabletop electronic calculators. The cans in the box on the floor. Ah, those! Well, my queer friend collects the energy drink cans from the Monster brand, and I've got them here because I need to make some plaster and pour some plaster into them so that they don't tip over as soon as some wind blows. That's why I've got them here. Yeah. Okay, so let's get this Tischrechner on the bench. And here I am. So, let's take off the top enclosure. Looks pretty nice on the bottom. It has detachable shields for the electronic circuits. Let me show you. It's a very well designed device with serviceability in mind. I like it a lot. I did some measurements on it, and turns out that the keyboard module it has some open contact that I'd like to tackle. There goes one. Yeah, my favorite Vicha screwdrivers. This is the motherboard. When you take a look, you'll see 12 boards stacked pretty nicely. It's the arithmetic unit. This is the keyboard unit, and then there's a Nixie tube board, and the power supply is here. Lifting the cover. And what do we have here? Let's shed some more light. 12 boards. All of it is discrete germanium transistor logic. just how awesome is that? And there's one more one even more awesome thing about it. Was it this part or the next one? I don't exactly remember. Ready to see it? The mystery unfolds. Now look at this. It's a Ferrite core memory. It's a pretty dense package. If I wanted to show you how it looks on the inside, I would have to drill those melted plastic standoffs, and I would have to desolder some of the connections on the side. And oh, hi Al. Nice to see you. And yeah, there's a lot of boards. There's 15 of them. The Ferrite core memory drivers. The other board, the second one, it's also Ferrite core memory drivers. Just look how many of them are here. All over the place. Insulation so that the metal parts of the transformers don't touch the traces on the neighboring board. Ain't that easy to reattach. Let's do it this way. How am I doing something wrong? Yeah, pretty elegant. Let's take off this part of the enclosure. There are two bolts attaching it from the bottom side. Because I'd love to show you how this machine is built. Like, believe me, how happy I was to get this calculator, because it was just sitting in one of the back rooms in the Book Art Museum. All the years I worked there, like 5 years, I didn't even know it was there. But when I noticed it, I just asked if I could take it, and I did some cleaning, and oh, there's one more latch on this side. And now would you look at this? Beauty. And what we need to do is take apart the keyboard module. first I would have to take it out almost completely. And in order to do that, I will have to unscrew the four bolts right here. So that I don't have to handle the whole machine, just a part of it. Hopefully no unforeseen consequences. It comes off really nicely. Gonna detach the connectors. Three connectors. No, not just three, but four. There it is. This is the DSKY display keyboard, and an Apollo DSKY, but still DSKY. Let's put the mainframe back on the ground. And let's get to work on this thing of beauty. Yeah, Maurice, so of course they are Nexi tubes. Let me look up the type. It's Z570M, made by Fernseh Electronic, the WF. So it's definitely East German. Looking at the keyboard, I can see that by unscrewing those nuts I could free the keyboard itself and work on it. I should be able to do it with the 6mm socket, because 5mm it would be a little bit too small. The socket has quite thick walls and doesn't engage with the nut. So I need to unscrew them with the pliers and by hand. The mystery unfolds. And got some not so good news. All the keys, they are attached with the string going through every single one of them. In order to detach one key, I would have to untie the string and remove it from most of the remaining keys. And I will have to do it because last time I took a look at the device with a multimeter, I did find some open contact that is preventing the keyboard from functioning properly. And I can now detach the keyboard might as well either detach or desolder the main switch here so that I can put the main frame away. I think it would be easier for me to desolder the contact. Put the Nixis away. And this keyboard, it has it's all mechanical switches. The problem that I noticed, it was about continuity, because those switches, they work in such a way that if we take a closer look, there's let's get some light over here. Get the angle. You can probably see the contact moving as I press the key. And the first one would be this contact. Continuity test. This would be the normally closed contact, and as I press the button, it breaks. It transfers to this, so this would be the pole, and those would be the throws. And normally it would go all the way through all of those contacts to the end. And that would go all the way up to here. That is not the case. Some of the contacts got broken underway. It's mostly a matter of finding the broken contact. See? Theoretically, I should have a normally closed contact right here, but it's broken. So I will have to look for the key that presses this, and then just fix the switch, the contact. And in order to do this, I will have to untie the string and take it out. Oh my goodness. It's pretty bad news, because it's not enough for me to just take away the keys that I don't need. I will have to take apart the whole keyboard. Not very serviceable. Maybe I'll just take a photo of this keyboard so I know how to put it back together. Alice says, "Oh no," and I say, "Oh yeah," because I will have to take it all apart. Let's watch some electronics porn. My channel is an electronics porn channel. I don't care if I get demonetized because I'm not eligible for monetization yet. And I don't care. By the way, if any one of you watched Futurama, you'll know that the electronic schematics, they are the robot porn. So I would say that I'm a robot porn artist by drawing schematics and designing electronics. Ha! Look at this discombobulation going on the bench. Just look at it. Ain't that lovely? Some more unscrewing. Fortunately, it's gonna be a lot easier now. And there are insulation washers. I have to take care not to lose them. They don't just provide insulation, they are also pretty soft and prevent the PCB from getting damaged. Bender the offender. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Al, I've got a bunch of schematics of the Soemtron calculator, I've got quite a lot of documentation because it's all it's posted on the Soemtron.org website from some enthusiasts of those calculators. Oh yeah, Morris, get your coffee. I did mine. I did drink mine. And now I should be able to liberate the PCB. Just look how many of those mechanical switches are here. Beauty. And see, this one is pretty special. This is for erasing. Those standoffs also pretty nice. Now that I've got this plate liberated, I can use a regular WD-40 for cleaning it. Oh, by the way, it's 2 a.m. Yeah, I think I will continue for an hour or so. Got no Jägermeister. No Jägermunion. So it was this one, I guess. Let's take it out and see what's happening inside. Oh, Mr. Rattmann, my lab assistant, Douglas P. Rattmann. Yeah, theoretically it's switching, but the contact has moved sideways a bit too much. Let's try to open it. Where's my sputter? Hi, Dan. Yeah, the decimal point is arbitrarily set with the thumb wheel. And it separates pretty easily. I will have to melt the plastic on this. Let's scrape the contacts on. Mm-hmm. That about should do it. Hmm. Yeah, and then the problem with those switches, those contacts, is it's just silver oxide. Because they're old. Let's melt it back. Don't really like using soldering iron for it, but still got some problems with this contact. Reading the chat. Yeah, it's Whiskey Delta. Pretty logical. Yeah, Stan, I'm from Poland. I will have an accent. That's pretty obvious that I won't speak like a real American. But still, English is so international that if someone doesn't have an accent, then they don't speak. Might try a different way of recombobulating this. No. Has this moved? If it moved, then move it back. That's a lot nicer. Of course, those contacts are unobtainium now. You could try to get them second hand on German eBay and the like, but I think it's pretty rare. I guess it can go back into the PCB. And it is now time to test the keyboard further. This was before the contact. This is after the contact. After another one. And another one. It goes all the way through the chain. Now it would be handy to test the contacts, the normally open contacts. Wondering why this is shorted. This was a contact that was normally closed, but shorted. So the way I saw it was some aftermarket modification. Let me take a look at the schematic. No, according to the documentation, it was supposed to be shorted, so let's leave it shorted. If it's in the schematic, then let's stick with it. It's one capacitor here. Okay, let's go on with testing those contacts. What's going on here? What's going on here? Okay. Just some oxide. Okay, all of them seem to be working. Let's put it back together. And reading the chat. Yeah, water displacement attempt 40. Fran was talking about it. She did a video on why the WD-40 was developed. It was for cleaning the rocket fuel from the Atlas project, I think. It was the space technology after all. Maybe even the ICBM technology. Because because you know war never changes, and the space program, the rocket science, the rocket research, it all stems from the rocketry as weapons. The ICBMs, the Wunderwaffe, like a lot of the scientists that worked on the first NASA rocket projects, they were the German scientists who worked on the Wunderwaffe. I guess that the Americans, the thing they did, and also the Soviets in the Sharashkas and the gulags for eggheads, for doing the research and development projects. All the brains that worked on the war effort for the Nazi Germany, they were captured and worked for the Allies and for the Soviets. Remember, kids? You played too much Red Alert if you don't count Soviets as the Allies. Anyway, it's time to put the keyboard back together. You go here. You go here. You go here. Multiplication. Addition. That's way cooler than your regular PC keyboard.